Division basketball is back in the swing of things as Cleveland Heights has its first official home game of the season, sitting at 1-0, taking on the 0-1 Medina battling Bees. Jake Volnick alongside Brennan Kant. And Brennan, first game of the year we get to see with our own two eyes. Getting excited. It should be a fun one.
Definitely. Two teams off to a hot start this year, especially Heights High 1-0 coming off that win against in their first game against Shaker Heights. Closely contested game. Then you see Medina in the last game unfortunately fall to basketball powerhouse St. Ignatius. Both teams going to start the season hot in their first, what's really their first official game of the year.
It was a slow start, obviously. You come out and lose the first game, but you were doing it to Cleveland.com's top 25, top 10 ranked team in St. Ignatius. That was a 79-52 loss, one that kind of just fell apart right now to the end. But Brennan, again, we should have a good one. Cleveland Heights transferring in two players, Mike Lewandowski coming in from Maple Heights and Jamin Allen coming in from Benedictine. Lewandowski in that first game pretty much carried the way for the Tigers.
Definitely Lewandowski. Big spark plug you'll see on offense. Transfer in like from Maple Heights, like you mentioned, 12 points last game and 7 rebounds. So he can get it done too, slashing and also good with the outside shooting. Two-way player in Lewandowski. He's definitely going to be someone to watch out for today.
Without a doubt, and then you look at the guys like Jake Lonsdale also going to go ahead and get things done. We'll pause. Brief second here. National anthem coming your way from Cleveland Heights. Basketball ready to resume here on the CHU channel. Jake Volnick, Brennan Kant. Running this team for Cleveland Heights, coming in a little bit younger. This was a team that graduated 8 seniors last year. They're having a lot of guys step up to varsity for the first time. Going to see a lot of hustle play, a lot of quick effort plays coming out from this team just because they don't have that kind of experience.
Definitely, and that's something that's be so exciting to watch this team and see how they develop over time. It's a group that hasn't. I mean, they've played together, but for the first time now in the varsity court, you bring in Lewandowski and then Allen, the other transfer in from Benedictine. So kind of a new lineup, a new rotation with graduating so many seniors. It's just going to be interesting to see tonight how they play here against a good Medina squad and then how they keep progressing as the season goes on, which is something you definitely expect when you have a young team like this. Sometimes it's a bit of trial and error. So far, though, they've shown got to win that game 1. They look to keep it rolling.
Absolutely they do, and this is a Medina team that was District 1 finalist last year in Division 1. And Brendan, I'll toss it to you for the starting lineups tonight for the Medina Battling Bees.
For Medina, we got JT Mogg, 6-foot guard senior. Connor Smith, 6'5". Brock Beach, also 6'5". Lots of height in this lineup. Kellen Johnson, 6'5", and Luke Hassinger, 6'1". They're coached by Chris Hassinger. Career record 145 and 81 in his time at Medina, his 10th season.
10th season for Hassinger. Add another 4 years onto that, just talking Medina, because before he was the boys varsity coach, he was the girls varsity coach. Found some success there. If you go back to his record with the girls team, 200 and 104 as a coach. And then on the side of Cleveland Heights for the Tigers, Tiger Nation rolling out Mike Lewandowski, as we mentioned, the transfer in from Maple Heights, standing at 6'4". It'll be Bryce Irby, the 6'5 junior guard, and he had 7 and 7 in their last game. Bryce Darden, 6'1 junior. Jamin Allen, another transfer in from Benedictine, the 6'5 senior, and then it rounds out with Jaquan Stubbs, also standing at 6'5 for the junior. Expect him to be aggressive both offensively and defensively.
Stubbs, 5 points, 4 rebounds, and recorded 2 blocks in the win against Shaker. And this Tigers team coached by head coach J.R. Bremer in his 5th season, sitting with a record of 67 and 32. For the Tigers as well, this is a team coming off a district final appearance of their own. It'll be for him, for this team. Their district finalists, you say, wait, Medina playing against Cleveland Heights, both district finalists. Did they play each other in that? How are you not announcing one the district champion? No, of course, the first season for Cleveland Heights basketball in the GCC last year in the Lake Erie Conference, where they finished 11-3 in conference play, 18-8 overall. Teams are just about ready for the opening tip as things almost ready to get underway. And Brennan, this is it's exciting. High school basketball season back in the swing. Football just wrapped up. Cleveland Heights coming off a disappointing finish. They wanted to go farther than they did, but of course still a good season for the team, including their first real test in the GCC at football as well.
Yeah. That transition from football season, obviously it's sad the way it ends, but a tremendous season nonetheless for these Heights High Tigers. So fun to watch that team, and now you transition into the basketball season and another exciting sport with another team that has a very bright future. So without a doubt, very looking forward to this winter, watching this team, and really high school basketball. There's not a lot of stuff that beats it, getting everyone crowded into the gym.
And speaking of, a pretty good crowd here tonight, and should mention some players to watch for on the side of Medina as well. You're looking at Brock Beach and Connor Smith as well. Upcoming junior Kellen Johnson. Tip is about ready to go off. And you're going to be looking at Kellen Johnson, just mentioned, for Medina. And they'll be tipping off against Jamin Allen. Both these guys stand at 6'5". Tip up, away, controlled by the Battling Bees. It's going to start with Hassinger. Relation to the coach, ball poked away, loose on the ground. Lewandowski's going to pick it up and goes to the rim but can't finish. That one wrapped up, loose again. Foul coming down as it was corralled in by Allen. And foul's going to go on Brock Beach. Early first foul to start things off here, not even 20 seconds into the game.
That's what probably Lewandowski's going to want to have back. Had that opportunity, a nice steal, and then a transition, just couldn't finish on that layup. But a good hustle play by Jamin Allen, able to draw the foul. Heights retaining possession, an aggressive start to this game.
Darting going to be controlling the offense, setting things up. Don't know what's really to expect from this team. They go inside to Lewandowski, tries to kick it to the cutting Darden, and that one skipped out of bounds.
Medina in a man defense look on that first possession. They did a good job switching onto Allen, who tried to get underneath closer to the basket. That caused that mishap.
Just looked like an instance of a pass that didn't necessarily have to make. It was one that was going to be a tight squeeze. He had the man open, but just not one your player's going to be expecting. Shot going up, nearly rejected by Lewandowski, but instead it'll be a trip to the line for Connor Smith as there's some body contact up near the arm. Definitely some contact on the play. It'll send Smith to the stripe, looking to put the first points of the game still up on the board. Almost a full minute in, sitting at 7:13 on the clock. Smith's able to sink the first, and pretty high-paced offense coming out from both of these squads.
Yeah, both teams coming quick down the court. Two teams that, you hear about these teams very, very aggressive, both offensive and defensively, but you can expect a lot of fireworks on the defensive side of the ball. The winner of this game is, it could be whoever shoots the lights out, but coming in, it's kind of expected to be more a gritty game Whoever can control the ball for longer, whoever can play the best defense.
Smith 2 for 2 from the line, giving Medina the lead 2-0. Deep three, launched by Irby, no. Rebound brought in by Beach. Looks to push the pace, finds a left wing three, and rattled home. That by the senior J.T. Mogg, and Medina out to a 5-0 early start, a minute and a half in.
That's a good find by Beach, finding Mogg in that corner wide open. Saw that the whole way, and he'll take that wide open three all day long.
Fold around the right side, looking to drive. It's Armstrong. Armstrong kicked it out. He gets the on board, goes back in. Armstrong, the first man to check in off the bench, and now he'll see a trip to the stripe. Tiger Nation still looking for the first points here in this game.
Pending these Carter Armstrong free throws, did a good job of making that play happen. Boxing out underneath, getting that offensive rebound. Or not even a rebound, it just was an air ball. Was able to pick it up. Then was able to draw the foul.
It's not enough on it, coming out from Irby from the left wing. Second free throw up and through. Cleveland Heights High Tigers on the board, trailing 5-2, and you'll see them implement this full court pressure. Press going to be applied. A lot of pressure applied in the first game against Shaker Heights. Similar, running it nearly the whole game, as you're going to see right there, Irby picking up the foul on Brock Beach.
It's a foul Irby probably doesn't need to commit. I mean, you love to see the aggressiveness with running the full court press this early in the game for the Tigers, but maybe a little over-aggressive. Didn't need to get that handsy, especially with the one-on-one with the B already in the front court.
Another three launched, another three down. J.T. Mogg showing off the range early. 8-2 lead, 6 minutes to go in the first for Medina. Gonna have to start closing out on Mogg, suffocating that three-point ball if he's gonna be hitting like that. It's Armstrong working in, gets the ball out to Irby. Irby rattles one home. Marked is just a 2. 8-point lead cut in half, now down to 4. Johnson able to move it across half court, inside against Lewandowski. Lewandowski up early, and a foul drawn by Johnson. Couple early trips to the line coming out for the Bees.
And nice job by Johnson getting inside there in the paint, and the pump fake did it for him. Got Lewandowski in the air. Nothing Lewandowski can really do in that situation. The second he jumps, Johnson knows he can draw that contact, takes advantage of it. He gets these 2 shots.
First one going to be off the mark from Johnson. This is a team for Medina. It's going to be lengthy, running the floor, constant motion coming out. And we'll see another substitution coming in. Deion Solomon, he'll check in for the first time tonight. Free throw off the mark, rebounded by Beach. Beach back up, puts it through. And for the Tigers, that's a rebound you got to reel in.
Without a doubt. Get guys in the paint, but good job by the 6'5" Brock Beach. Still finding his way in there and getting that board, getting points out of it.
Ball kicked out. Armstrong looking for the mid-range jumper. No. Beach again with the rebound. 10-4 lead for Medina. Ball poked loose on the cross-court pass. And that was Solomon getting his hand on it and forcing the inbound. That'll come from Hassinger. Johnson's going to check out. And it'll be Jace Holland, 6'6" junior, to come in for Medina. Hassinger looking to trigger. I'll just get it to Beach in the backcourt. So far, the 3 ball, name of the game as well, getting to the line for Medina. J.T. Mogg still out there with the 6 points. Ball stripped away, though. That's by Irby, and Irby able to clear it back to Darden and set things up for Cleveland Heights. Darden slow, nearly threw the ball away. Allen able to reel it in. Darden going to get it back along that left wing. Ball poked loose again, and that's coming up to steal now, J.T. Mogg. Looking to go coast to coast, dishes it back. Good ball movement in, but can't finish the layup, Connor Smith. Cleveland Heights looked to push the pressure. Armstrong had to slow things down. Irby now barking out the offense.
Cleveland Heights making a lot of mental mistakes right now, and it's killing him. Good job by Irby, just slowing everything down, set up this possession, move the ball, try and get an open look.
Darden will get it out to Solomon. Off-ball movement happening. Strong presence on the right side of the floor. Left side really opened up. Solomon at the top of the key. Irby, deep launch, short, and Beach able to reel it in. Irby looked to commit a foul. Beach goes right past him, underneath in a charge, and setting up and taking it was Bryce Darden.
And great job by Darden. Setting up positioning there, just getting underneath, waiting for Beach to initiate that contact so he could draw the foul. Perfectly executed charge taken by Darden, a big one, and now a big possession for Heights. So they've kind of struggled to establish any rhythm so far on offense. We'll see if they can get an open look inside the paint or closer to the hoop than a deep three.
We'll see. Bryce Beach and JT Mogg off the floor now. Kellen Johnson checked back in along with Bryce Zufra. See if that opens up anything defensively. Corner three launch. Corner three knocked down by the newly checked in Ian Bremer. That name sound familiar? It should. Head coach J.R. Bremer, that's his nephew, that puts a three on the board, and he started out hot in game one from there as well, knocking down an early set of threes.
Bremer, like you just mentioned, had that hot hand in game one. Wouldn't be surprised if you keep seeing Bremer take some more threes. His first attempt at the game goes in from that far corner. A quick offense for the Tigers in a much-needed time.
Get the timeout. 7-10 now trailing. Well, that's a good answer. An offense that starts slow, you need a spark. You get it off the bench from Bremer. And there you go. How about that? How you got to explain over to the family members that your nephew's coming off the bench for your team?
That's a tough conversation to be had, Jake.
Yeah, that'll be an interesting one at Christmas. Have a fun time out there for your holiday season trying to explain to the entire family why the minutes aren't coming for Ian.
Bremer, he'll be flexing a 60% now higher three-point percentage, trying to make a case for himself.
So that three ball rattles out. Ball loose up the floor, able to be corralled in by Bremer. Bremer looks to throw it inside, off the backboard. Solomon has it rejected. Another board, no. Cleveland Heights finally putting it in as the point's good from Jamin Allen.
More second chance points for the Tigers. We've seen that a few times now. Just being able to get a few opportunities extra. Haven't been able to cash on the initial. Those ones, the initial attempts will start falling, but good job capitalizing and getting points on the second and even third chances.
Foul as Kellen Johnson looked to drive. It'll be Darden picking up the foul. And it'll send Johnson not to the line. They'll say that one was on the floor as Cleveland Heights trailing the Bees 10-9, 2.5 left to go in the first quarter.
Definitely looked close there. It looked like the contact was true as he was going up.
Ball knocked away. Allen denying the pass towards the top to Johnson, but I think I agree with you there. That foul looked like Johnson was trying to get to the basket and ended up attempting to put a shot up, but they say no. Foul came early enough on the floor.
When the foul was called, it looked like he was going up through the contact. It was Johnson. Must have just barely milliseconds before he went up to get that call on the floor.
Bryce Darden finally going to get a break as Trevor McPherson going to check in for the first time. JT Mogg, Bryce Beach back on. Three from Medina. No, that's Zufra on the miss and Armstrong on the rebound. Jamin Allen standing at 6'5", handling the ball nicely, looking to go inside, and foot got picked up as he got tangled up with Connor Smith, and he gets called for the travel.
Yeah, that's one the officials call all day. Good take inside by Allen, but unfortunately, turnover.
That's full court pressure coming out from Cleveland Heights, and JT Mogg getting loose down the floor. Mogg, as he went inside, picks up the foul, and he will be going to the stripe. And it's going to be an upset Trevor McPherson. He thought he got his hands out of the way, put him down to his side in time. But instead, it's going to be the foul. And I don't know, the initial contact, yes, and then McPherson maybe just pushing the body a little too close to Mogg, not giving him the space to land under the basket.
Yeah, just very, very slight contact. Looked like as Mogg was going up. But Mogg already showing his ability. Obviously, 2 3-pointers from beyond the arc, but that time driving, able to draw the contact and finish through it.
And he knocks down both free throws, giving Medina a 12-9 lead here under 2 to play in the first quarter. Bremer gets it, corner 3, no. Can't put it through. Bremer 1 for 2 from beyond the arc, and the ball knocked loose in the backcourt, but Medina will keep it. Bremer so close, same corner, felt like the same shot, and that one just not quite finding its way to the bottom of the net.
I like that shot, though, from Bremer. A good pass, finding him wide open. Obviously, Johnson closed on him quickly, but if he keeps getting a little bit of separation, getting those open looks, you know how efficient he is from beyond the arc. Like I said, coming into this game 60% after game 1. Those looks, they'll start to keep falling.
Another 1 for 2, tie up underneath, no call, 3 on the out, and that's good. Talon Posey, excuse me, not Posey, that's Hassinger, checked in, knocking down the 3, and 15-9 lead for the Bees. 3-ball raining for Medina, and it's got them out up above by 6. Low pass, McPherson to Allen. Now Bremer gets it at the top. A minute to work with here in the quarter. Armstrong trying to work on Hassinger. Turnaround Jay, too long, but Allen able to reel it in and gets it inside. McPherson, tough finish through a little bit of contact.
A great find by Allen, finding McPherson just running into that paint, and a great cut, getting an open look, and that's something the Tigers can keep trying to go at. Finding those open looks underneath. A lot of the shots they've been taking are deep threes or just low percentage shots in general so far, mostly in part to Medina playing some really good defense. If they can continue to control the ball, those looks will open up underneath, and that one, a free bucket.
A free bucket, and you mentioned a good find. Allen under pressure, still find his cutting teammate, and that's going to be the 5th foul of the quarter. By the way, as picking up the foul, Trevor McPherson, and it will send Luke Hassinger to the strike, and he rattles home free throw number 1. 37 seconds to play in the first quarter. The first free throw extends the Medina lead 16-11. Talk about trips to the stripe early in this game, heavy in favor of the Bees, as Hassinger unable to put down the second. Ball loose though. Careless pass. Allen can't handle it, but Carter Armstrong says, let me take that one right back. This is a Cleveland Heights high possession. Bremer thought about the jumper, but no, he'll kick it back out. Solomon charging the lane, floater and good over Johnson, over Smith, and it's 16-13, 10 to shoot. Corner kick, and Medina can now hold it for the last shot. 5 on the game clock. Smith behind the back, little bit of space, down to 1, got to fire, get it up, not enough. Hassinger unable to hit, and the Bees will take a 16-13 first quarter lead at the conclusion of the quarter.
Very aggressive first quarter from both teams, and kind of what we expected coming in. Aggressiveness on defensive side of the ball has picked up as it's gone on, but Medina, I think, really did a good job in that first quarter of just taking advantage and not really messing up a ton. We saw them make a lot of their wide open threes and took advantage of shots at the free throw line. So very clean first quarter, I thought, for Medina, which is a big reason why they're out to this lead. And for Heights, I also thought a great quarter. A few things they can clean up. I think a little bit of sloppiness on offense caused a few of those turnovers, and Medina able to capitalize. Tigers, without a doubt, still in this one, only a one-possession game. So if those things start cleaning up, see the Tigers maybe try and take the lead or do some more.
And this, of course, a great battle that's going to happen between these two teams. Preseason poll, again, top 25 from Cleveland.com, had Cleveland Heights as the 13th ranked team, and Medina sitting right behind them at 14. But for Cleveland Heights, it just seems like the things that aren't going right for them, the sloppiness of play, it's unforced sloppiness, right? It's coming up the floor with not a whole lot of pressure being applied by the Bees. You just got to make your easy passes and make sure your teammates are expecting them.
Those are just some ill-advised passes. That's something, and say even a young team too, those things will start to get cleaned up as this game goes on too. See progress being made. And
you expect that. out of a young group in Cleveland Heights. We'll see Jaquan Stubbs now on the floor. Stubbs driving the lane, picks up the contact, and Jaquan Stubbs going to make the change. He said, Medina, you had a few trips to the line in that first quarter. Let me switch that up for you. Let me get to the stripe myself.
Now some free throws for the Tigers. Be big to convert here, but you like to see that out of Stubbs, using his body, a big frame. Standing at 6'5", and used it there. Was able to back down Johnson, then draw the contact.
Jaquan Stubbs, 6'5", sitting right around 250, at least he was during football season. Remember that one. Big man able to return a pick six. That was a fun little moment during the Tigers football season, but now getting it done on the basketball court, starting off his season 5 of 5 from the stripe. Was able to work there 3 times in the win over Shaker. Affects the shot a bit there and reels down the board as well. Up to Bremer in the corner. Bremer draws some contact, shoved out by Mogg. Mogg picks up the foul, and he doesn't agree with it.
Already 2 foul calls on Medina in the first 39 seconds of this quarter. Seeing the fouls really piled up.
And you know, Mogg not going to like that one. 8 points on the board, and that's foul number 2 against him. Already working into a little bit of trouble, but he'll stay on the floor. Stubbs back in. Stubbs working a little too far under. Kick out. Bremer, catch and shoot. Bremer through. And my gosh, Bremer lighting it up from outside to begin the season. That one, quick trigger.
That's just a sweet stroke on that far right wing.
Ball out. Ball going to go the way of Medina's. It's knocked loose. But Bremer, 2 of 3 today, 3 of 5. Back in the win over Shaker. Do a little bit of quick math. Not my strong suit, but he's 5 of 8 on the season. I can do easy single-digit numbers, and I also can tell you 5 of 8, that's a good 3-point percentage. Connor Smith open underneath. Connor Smith, easy finish. That's just a lapse in defense from the Tigers on the side out. Game knotted at 18, 6:45 to go in the first half. It's going to be Irby commanding the offense. Finds it over to McPherson. And with Stubbs in, they're looking to work it to him, and they're going to give the charge on to Stubbs. And Smith picking it up. Might have been a little extra acting classes coming out from Smith on that one. He hit the deck quick.
Yeah, a little bit of theater there, it looked like, from Smith. Stubbs didn't really look like he initiated forcible contact. Got that shoulder in there a little bit, but not anything too crazy. But Smith pays off for him. Official right there and calls it.
Yeah, Smith a little lankier. Stubbs, a big body, probably going to help influence that call. Well, you mentioned a little bit of theater maybe from Smith. Play going on right now here at Cleveland Heights High School. That's where you and I initially walked in by mistake, but eventually made our way here to the floor as the ball's poked loose. Stubbs going to corral it. And a cross-court pass up to Darby. Excuse me, that's Irby. Irby trying to work inside. Braylon Irby has it swatted away. Cleveland Heights will keep it.
That's one Irby might want to kick. Going into 3 defenders, especially with Jace Holland, 6'6" forward. Not an easy bucket dribbling into 3 guys. You had a few guys open on the perimeter. Could have passed out, but Heights retains possession.
Mid-range jumper, McPherson. McPherson through. He's got it in there. 4 points on the board for the junior. 20-18, Cleveland Heights on top, first time today. Stubbs up in front, guarding Jace Holland. Holland gets it to Beach, back to Smith. Smith launches the 3, not enough, and hit the shot clock, goes out. Cleveland Heights will take it. A little bit of change, a little bit better closeout on that 3 that time.
I was just about to say, Irby able to get the closeout, get just enough closeness to Smith and feel uncomfortable shooting that shot. With Irby right there. The 3s we've seen Medina hit have been pretty wide open. That time a good closeout though by Irby. Definitely contributed to that shot being off.
Head coach J.R. Bremer going to call for a 30-second timeout. Get his team's offense back in the works, but that's better defense. A team like Medina going to be strong on the outside. They're going to be knocking down 3, so you have to be strong in the closeout. You didn't see it in the first quarter. Definitely better there to start the second. And if a team like the Bees is going to come inside, they're going to battle with you down low. They're going to beat you there. so be it. That's where you got to lose the game. You trust your big guys, Jamin Allen, Jaquan Stubbs, to step up in the paint.
Definitely. And we haven't seen we've seen Medina get some points in the paint, but we haven't really seen too much bully ball out of them. They haven't shown too much of an ability to get in the paint and drive with forcible contact and able to get some points close to the bucket. They've had good cuts and found wide open men underneath, but not too many tough buckets out of them. And Cleveland Heights has done a great job in the second quarter limiting that and forcing Medina to chuck up more low percentage shot than they had to in the first quarter.
And nobody for Cleveland Heights here on their offensive side of the ball. Really stepping up as an offensive leader, leading scorer on the floor, Bremer with his 2 threes to get 6 points. Stubbs up and under, no. Ball loose, Stubbs back up. Foul called. And it's going to go against Medina, but it's going to be on the floor. Jace Holland will be the one to pick up the foul.
We talk about bully ball. Jaquan Stubbs not afraid to get in there and try and back someone down. That time Jace Holland, that's 6'5" or 6'6" there underneath.
As Holland this time going to have the ball poked loose. Reeling out, last touched off the leg of Braylon Irby. Medina going to get it under their own hoop. That one right off the knee of Irby as the ball was loose. Again, just probably a ball you shouldn't see hit the floor in that instance. Got to get that one up higher and a quick finish coming out. Who else? JT Mogg put him in double digits early in this one. He's got 10. McPherson quick to the hoop with the answer, 22-20. Cleveland Heights on top, less than 5 to play in the first half. Talk about you don't see bully ball. Johnson giving it to McPherson right now. Working along the perimeter. Mogg, deep 3, short, and Jaquan Stubbs able to take it.
Another good closeout from Irby.
Love to see suffocating defense at either end of the floor. But the fans here in Cleveland Heights, part of Tiger Nation, love to see it coming out from their Tigers. Stubbs, mid-range, no. Rebound goes on over to Johnson. Smith hits the deck with his hand. Ball loose across the way. Johnson again, forearm into McPherson. Looks for the trap. Hassinger, Smith, 3. No. Nothing there on that one.
Look, Hassinger tried to set a little bit of screen, get some separation for Smith. But still able to get through it. The defender, looked like it was Bremer.
Bremer
got
right
in there.
up in his grill.
What looked like it was going to be a wide open shot. Ends up being contested, and Smith hasn't found too much consistency from beyond the arc in this second quarter.
After the good defense, Bremer going to check out. Jamin Allen going to check in. Again, Mike Lewandowski going to check in as well for Cleveland Heights, alongside Irby, McPherson, and Stubbs. And then it's Zufra, Mogg, Beach, Johnson, and Holland on the floor for the Bees. 3:45 to play in the second quarter. Cleveland Heights 22-20. Irby outside on the screen. Stubbs gets it at the free throw line. Through contact. Jaquan Stubbs didn't look pretty, but he got it to fall off the glass.
A nice pick and roll set that one up. Stubbs able to get that high screen. Come inside and just use his body weight to get to that hoop.
Looked like Stubbs would have lost it. Beach hitting the lane. Beach getting it in. 24-22. Tigers still on top. But Medina with a quick answer. McPherson into the lane. Mid-range jumper. Off, no. Jaquan Stubbs offensive rebound. Gets the roll. And he's just dominating the paint.
Another point in the paint from Stubbs. Just showing some big man strength underneath, getting that rebound. Just fighting through. He took a little bit of contact. Nonetheless, more tough buckets out of Stubbs. And early in this game, it looked like Heights was kind of struggled to get in the paint. He's taking more outside shots. But now in the second quarter, mostly in part due to Stubbs, they forced themselves in there and established consistency that close to the basket. The offense has really opened up with that.
Certainly has. Poke foul comes out from Irby, so he'll check off after picking up number 2 for Bryce Darden. Zufra trying to work the middle of the floor against Darden. Suffocating. Darden giving him a little bit of space and then cutting it off as soon as he can. Poked loose. McPherson back to Allen. 3-on-1. Allen wanted to take it himself, and a late whistle will get him to the line. That one, you might say, Jamin Allen, hey, come on, pick your head up. Had a couple of guys open to dish it to.
Yeah, 3-on-1. Probably not the best idea to take it inside, but I mean, this defense has been very suffocating, and they must have heard what we were talking about because it seems like these defenders are just pressing up on every single Medina B, and there's no worry at all. Just forcing them to try and make plays, try and beat the man. Cleveland Heights defense has been doing it for them in the second quarter.
First run from Allen, unable to go, but he caught his defender backpedaling and went straight up into him. 2.5 minutes left to go in the half. That's going to be the fourth foul picked up for Medina, so you'll be looking at some trips to the line here soon on every foul with every next one. Miscommunication on the defensive end. Ball not handled by Zufra in the corner. Medina going to try to reset, and they'll get it to Hassinger and able to do so. Crosses back over, working on Lewandowski, and they get it to Holland. Holland, kickoff, tries to set a screen for Smith. Back out. Zufra, inside to Holland, back to Zufra. No good from three. Lewandowski reels it in.
Medina now struggling from beyond the arc.
Lewandowski, floater, no. Ball loose, ripped down by Darden. Darden wants Stubbs underneath. Smaller Smith on him, baseline into Allen. Allen unable to finish, but picks up the foul on Connor Smith.
That's a good feed from Stubbs. Looked like he was originally he was going to throw that ball to Darden in the corner, but then kind of switched his body momentum and passed it in to the lane to Allen where he was driving, cutting towards that hoop, and Allen draws the foul, but heads up play by Stubbs, seeing Allen as he was driving and making that pass.
First one good from Allen this time, as he puts it through. Beach going to check on JT Mong. Hassinger, as well as Zufra to the bench. Carter Armstrong onto the floor for Cleveland Heights as well. Allen, this time a good trip to the line, 2 for 2. Tigers up 28-22, minute 42 to go in the first half. First 2 points on the board for Jamin Allen. Johnson working inside. Carter Armstrong picks up the foul. Johnson not afraid to give a little bit of a bump, and that time it's going to go in the favor of Medina, as Armstrong tried to play him straight up, but closed those arms just a little bit and picked up the foul.
Yeah, Armstrong just a little bit handsy, and when the man defense is they're pressing up that much, if you initiate contact, you'll most likely get that foul called.
Inbound bucket and the foul. Connor Smith puts it in, and he'll have a chance for one more. Side outs, giving the Tigers problems defensively. Another over-the-top pass leads to the bucket and the potential and one.
That time it was Smith, but we've seen some Bees get wide open off these inbound plays. Was able to beat Lewandowski to the hoop. Connor Smith, tough bucket through the contact, gets the and one.
Bremer going to check in for Cleveland Heights. And it'll be Lewandowski checking out. Minute 32 to go. Smith's free throw, no good. So, aside from the foul, no harm done on the and one opportunity. Armstrong works the ball into the corner. Couple of cutters, unable to find him. Allen into the lane, floater, rattles out. Ball loose, though. And Jaquan Stubbs just got a knack for finding it. He finds Bremer as well, but Cleveland Heights a third opportunity. Ball loose to let it roll out and keep it. Offensive boards just gravitating to Tigers on the floor right now.
Yeah, Tigers just physical underneath the hoop. They don't have too much of a size advantage on Medina. Just kind of out physicaling them underneath, and it's also part of just being in the right spot at the right time. Getting guys under the hoop and boxing out, good things will happen.
28-24, minute to play in the first half. Stubbs on Holland. feels an advantage, and he picks up the foul. Contact came to the head. Chase Holland will pick up foul number 2 here just before the half, and Jaquan Stubbs will be going back to the line, a place where he's already 2 for 2.
Not much of an answer for Jaquan Stubbs in the second quarter. It seems like anytime he's driving in to that paint, it's either he gets a bucket or he gets fouled and goes to the line.
And he's good there once again. Perfect 6 attempts on the season for Stubbs, and not the most orthodox free throw shooter. Watch the toes. Up high points onto him before he goes to the shot, but it's working out. But that second one, it'll get waved off. They'll get a Tiger in the lane for the violation, 29-24. Tigers on top.
Yeah, can't say I've seen free throw shooter kind of utilize that on the tiptoes. But hey, no doubt it's working for Jaquan Stubbs.
He's yet to not find the bottom of the basket. Beach looked for the quick bucket. No, and rebound by Bremer. Wanted to move quick. Carter Armstrong thought about a couple decisions and had to just keep it as he couldn't find himself making just one. Stubbs on the block. Double comes. Bremer outside and miscommunication. Ball out of bounds. Intended for Darden, but finds the black paint instead.
Kind of another sloppy turnover for Heights. And with the time left, kind of thinking maybe they were just going to run that down and try and get the last shot, but now Medina will have the opportunity to do that instead.
Feels like when you get that double on the Jaquan Stubbs, you got to pick the head up, look for the open man. Instead, they went back to Bremer, and Bremer tried to drive the left side when he had the open guy open on the right wing. Just not too far away, just had to look for it. Doesn't work out for Cleveland Heights. 5 to shoot in the half. Beach getting locked up by Stubbs. Finds a little space into Smith and beats the buzzer. 29 now to 26. Cleveland Heights will keep the lead by just 3. A strong second quarter allows them to flip the script and take a lead into the half.
Great half of play here at Cleveland Heights High School, and all about adjustments for the Tigers, I thought, going into that second quarter. Things weren't working in the first quarter. You saw Medina capitalizing on a lot of open looks, lots of open shots underneath, and on the outside they didn't seem to miss. When they had spacing, they were making their shots, but Heights able to go to some more press defense in the man, creating tougher shot opportunities for Medina. And you see in that second quarter, kind of struggling more from beyond the arc, their primarily way of scoring in that first quarter. And on the offensive side of the ball, the Tigers looked like they were taking more low percentage shots just because how good the Medina defense was playing them. Some sloppy ball in that first quarter and mixing that with not hitting the shots. But then you see with Jaquan Stubbs coming back in that second quarter and kind of establishing that consistency in the paint, freeing guys up on the outside for open shots, but then also getting open looks himself and forcing open looks underneath, leading to those easy buckets. So overall, I think a great job by Cleveland Heights making those adjustments in the second quarter, getting the lead back into half, and now talking it back over in halftime. But I expect them to come out back on fire like they did in this whole entire second quarter.
A lot of it, too, getting done there on the inside. You give your props up to head coach J.R. Bremer on making the necessary adjustments. Stubbs leading the way for Cleveland Heights with 7. Right behind him is going to be the nephew, Ian Bremer, with 6. And then on the side of Medina, 10 on the board for J.T. Mogg and 8 for Connor Smith. 29-26, Tigers on top of the Bees as we hit the half in less than 10 minutes. Second half resumes, and so will we right here on the CHUA Schools YouTube channel. Jake Volnick, Brendan Kantz bringing you Cleveland Heights and Medina. here for the second half of play between Cleveland Heights and Medina. Tigers on top of the Bees 29-26. As the team's getting ready to take back the court, Jake Volnick, Brendan Kantz here on the CHUH Schools YouTube channel. Brendan, that first half, really breaking it down into the two quarters, I think, is the more important part here. Because the first quarter, you saw a lot of sloppy play coming out of Cleveland Heights. But in the second quarter, they really seemed to clean things up, got Jaquan Stubbs real involved, and it paid dividends, taking that second quarter by 6 points.
Without a doubt. Necessary adjustments were made. And the good thing for them, even after that kind of sloppy first quarter, they were only down 3 points. So really at that point, it just seemed like all they needed to do was fix the sloppiness, which they did, and then you saw them take the lead in that second quarter. And now at a half, it'll be interesting to see what other adjustments they made and if they can continue to keep this up.
An early bucket for the Bees coming out of the half, 29-28, and Irby going to lose it. Jamin Allen tying it up, and a jump ball that's going to favor Cleveland Heights. So a good job by Allen to get the hands involved, get the ball back for his team. And 30 seconds in, we'll have the arrow switch possessions early.
Very heads-up play, and I think that's the second time tonight we've seen a turnover, but then a second later, the ball just stolen right back by a Heights player. Obviously that time a jump ball, but perfect job by Allen being right there and kind of covering up after what was a sloppy turnover.
Exactly right. The other time on the offensive end for Cleveland Heights, and it was Carter Armstrong who ripped it right back. Irby, the trigger man, got to get one out, and he does, getting it to Darden. Garden isolates, gets the switch by Smith, who now picks up Armstrong. Armstrong tried to drive the lane, had it poked loose. Hassinger on the fast break, and a goaltend going to be called. Armstrong late to the ball after it had hit the glass. And the 2 points will give the Bees a 30-29 lead. 7:09 to go in the third quarter.
Maybe a play, a good effort nonetheless by Armstrong, but maybe a play he didn't need to make. It was a great job by Bryce Darden screaming in from that left side, making it a tough layup. Didn't know whether or not it was actually going to go in, but getting the goaltending, it's the points.
I'm not so sure it would have. Jaquan Stubbs right back, working the outside, right hook, finishing, 9 points on the board, and the ball loose and back to the Tigers. Stubbs back to Armstrong. Going to try to use the Stubbs screen, back up, and they want the Stubbs on Smith connection, but Jaquan Stubbs shuffles the feet.
There you see Medina kind of trying to trap Stubbs, doubling him underneath, bringing Luke Hassinger. Force that turnover, but expect to see that more whenever Jaquan Stubbs gets that ball on the block. You'll see Medina just trying to get two or three guys there and not allow them to drive.
Hassinger with the ball. 6 points for him tonight. He gets it over to Beach. Beach finds a lane under the basket and in. Beach just found a baseline angle and converts it to points. Armstrong along the baseline, backing down Beach. Thought he had something, but it's knocked off the leg of Beach. Ball loose on the ground, and JT Mogg to pick it up. Hassinger back to Mogg. Mogg, three. Mogg bottoms. 35-31. Medina on top. He was lighting it up in the first half when he came out of the half and was taking warm-ups. Nothing changed.
Yeah, I watched JT Mogg make about 7 in a row from three-point range and warm-ups. Now 3 for 4 from beyond the arc. That one wide open. Just kind of seems automatic. You give him that spacing and he's going to make you pay.
Hits another one, takes his point total to 13, and Jaquan Stubbs trapped in the corner forces head coach J.R. Bremer to get a 30-second timeout in.
I like the timeout call from Bremer. Just try and regroup. Medina came out on fire out of this half. Doing a good job forcing a turnover and kind of eliminating Stubbs so far. Just a good timeout. Just try and regroup. A little bit of a swing out of Medina retaking that lead. Just kind of calm it down and get back out there playing.
They're doing it with suffocating defense, poking the ball loose, forcing mistakes out from the Tigers, and then converting on the other end. You saw the back and forth between Mogg and Hassinger, and you can't just leave Mogg open on the three-point line. He's proved that several times tonight. Darden over to Bremer. Bremer not going to get it to fall. Ripped down by Beach. Look to push the floor, but things will reset with Hassinger. Into Johnson. Wants a screen out for Mogg. Mogg driving the lane. Body contact on Bremer. And they'll say on the floor. Looked like Mogg had gathered. They'll say no.
Another time looked very, very close. Bremer trailing Mogg just a little bit too closely. Mogg able to initiate that contact, and that's a foul 10 out of 10 times.
And Mogg just signaled on this inbound as he was sitting near the three-point line, just a shooting motion. He thought he was already going up. He wanted the foul call, and it'll still be 2 points for Bryce Beach, but initially after the fall, Mogg returned right to the top of the arc and wanted to walk into the free throw line. He thought he had gotten the shooting foul. 37-31, Medina on top, 4:45 left to go in the third quarter. Darden on Hassinger, and got to put the ball to the floor first. Made the move, and Darden going to get called for the walk.
We've seen here now in the midway of the third quarter is kind of what we saw throughout that first quarter. Just the inability to get that ball underneath the stubs due to good defense from the side of Medina. Cleveland Heights just kind of swinging that ball around the perimeter, and it's forcing turnovers because they're not getting any open looks.
And that seemed to have really opened up the offense. Even if it wasn't Jaquan Stubbs scoring directly, it was getting him the ball into open space, letting him work the post, force a double, pass out of it, and create some motion on the Medina defense. Now it seems like not even using the Stubbs screen, not forcing him into early opportunities in the block. And maybe that's a defensive switch from Medina, but nothing I've seen.
No.
Ball gets up to Jace Holland. Holland working on Stubbs. Double comes. Jamin Allen rips it out of his hands. Up the floor now. Irby in the corner on Connor Smith. Good first move. Mid-range jumper short. And goes out of bounds. Medina will take back over.
Probably not the smartest shot out of Irby. Made a nice little jab move. Getting that open shot, but fading behind a deeper mid-range shot, especially down 6 points. Maybe not the one, but that's what Medina's been doing here in the second half, making Cleveland Heights take those uncomfortable shots.
And if you make that move clean, is the shot off by Zufra, rebounded by Cleveland Heights, and a foul picked up by McPherson as he goes to the lane. But back to my point, if you make that move clean from the corner, if you're Irby, that jumper might be there, but as soon as you lose your footing, that's one where you got to kind of swallow your pride and say, okay, I made a good move, but couldn't keep it. Let's reset things for the offense and see if we can set something out for myself once again.
Definitely.
It'll be Irby now, the inbounder, trying to get it out. Bremer going to be the over the top and nearly swatted away by Beach, but Bremer able to back things up. Hand off McPherson, then Lewandowski. Irby again. He gets Smith, and he doesn't want that matchup up top. 3:45 left to go in the third quarter. 37-31 Medina. Tigers taking their time. Jaquan Stubbs, three-point line. Triple team comes. And there he goes. Finds the open man. Space down low. Irby picks up the foul. Just like we talked about. Get the ball to Jaquan Stubbs. Extra defenders come. And your teammates are going to be open. Jaquan Stubbs with the heads up to realize and dish the ball away.
Definitely. And you saw three defenders flock around Stubbs, and that frees up two guys in a man defense. That's two other Tigers unaccounted for. That time you saw at the top of the arc, Irby was the one and then draws the foul. So if they can continue to get that ball to Stubbs, that's going to open up the rest of the offense. If he can kick it and find open men, keep swinging that ball, someone's going to be open due to the double and triple team on Stubbs. That's really the ideal offense that Heights needs to keep setting up with the way Medina's defending them.
Splits the pair for Irby's. 3 points total for him now as the lead for Medina cut down to 5. Ball loose, but Irby picks up the foul. And Medina going to have another inbound opportunity. Irby, third foul, and he's going to be coming off the floor. Checking in for the first time, Jaden Cosgrove. Cosgrove played some time in the 52-43 one over Shaker. Did not record anything other than a missed three opportunity. Pearson now with it, and I just want to give props up to Jaquan Stubbs. Sometimes younger players, that double, triple comes. And when you're really a dominant player, you feel like you can push right through it. A veteran move by him to be able to realize when he needs to dish it away and having the wherewithal to dish it away to the open man.
Definitely. A guy like him, you don't know, he probably could push through with all that size. When you see that open guy and you know that it's just freeing up so much of that aspect on offense, you see guys open around the perimeter, the smart move is always kick it because that just forces and creates instant offense.
And you see Stubbs there too, blitzing all the way up near the half-court line. You see Stubbs blitz a lot as a defensive lineman, but this time on the court, and it freed up his teammate. Bremer on the three-point line, pass a little bit off, or else it might have been an open three. Fakes the pass up and under. Jaquan Stubbs, 3 different defenders working on him. Did a great job with the ball fake to throw off one, worked past the other, and then the patience to wait down low and finish the open bucket. Cleveland Heights now trailing 37-34, right around 3 minutes to go here in the third quarter.
Good take by Jaquan Stubbs. Once again, you see that double. The second he gets on that block, it's really been Luke Hassinger who's been guarding Ian Bremer, the dangerous three-point shooter. So a good look there from Stubbs, gets the bucket to go. But if that happens again, Bremer's been wide open, following Hassinger, taking that double, and then getting on Stubbs. So Stubbs doesn't get a shot there and recognizes that. You got one of your best three-point shooters, Bremer, who's been wide open. That time was wide open on the left wing. Obviously, the smart decision by Stubbs to go up with it. But that's continuing to be open. I've noticed that Hassinger pretty much every time has been the guy to go and be the extra man on Stubbs.
Maybe that's something head coach J.R. Bremer would notice as well. And if he's able to relay that information to his big man, might pay off for a long ball. Instead, 3-point deficit right now. Bremer's been hot from 3 to start the season. Ball loose, and McPherson going to pick up foul number 3 as he look to make the play. That'll be the 3rd foul on Cleveland Heights in this quarter.
Now a few guys in foul trouble for Heights. Got to watch out. Lewandowski, Irby, and McPherson all at 3. We just saw Irby check out for it, but when you got 3 guys all with 3 fouls, now we'll see. Just coming off McPherson. It's going to be hard. At some point, they're going to have to come back in, but now, still with 2 minutes left in the third quarter, the smart decision is to take them out, which hurts because those are guys that are big impacts on this team.
Deion Solomon going to be the man to check in, and he's in defense here against Beach. Double comes, Jaquan Stubbs trying to return to the paint as Hassinger finds Zufra. So he's guarded by Cosgrove. Hassinger to Beach. Beach launches. No. JT Mogg left loose underneath. Offensive rebound in the putback. 15 points for JT Mogg.
That's a heads-up play by Mogg. Often, guys, you see guys that are shooters, they like to stick around that perimeter, not really crash and try and get that rebound. That time, Mogg does a perfect crashes, even though he's a three-point shooter. He's not typically finding himself there. Does a good job recognizing that, getting the second chance opportunity.
There, Tigers just got to turn around when the shot goes up and find someone to box out. Off the mark, Solomon gets it to Cosgrove. No. Another offensive rebound. And they'll get a hook going on Jaquan Stubbs as he went up for the board, and Medina going to take the ball.
Stubbs looked like he was fighting off about 3 or 4 Bs underneath. Still able to get the shot off, but the hook called. Now you'll see a full court press from the Tigers.
They fall off quickly. They let the inbounder go in Johnson. Johnson doubled. Ball underneath Mogg. Tried to get it to Beach and threw it behind him. Half-court pressure coming out from Cleveland Heights. Going to first force the turnover there by the Bees.
Tigers able to trap. And the ball into Mogg. Mogg a little too aggressive. Once they got past that, the Bees had numbers after the trap, but Mogg just a little too over-aggressive.
39-34, Medina on top. Minute to play here in the third quarter. Underneath, Lewandowski trap. He gives it away to Johnson. Jaquan Stubbs, a clean pick. Pass back to him, and the finish. Big man showing off a little finesse with the steal.
That's a big-time play for the big man. Doing it on both sides of the ball.
Ball over the top. Hassinger. Zufra thought about the pass. Has it swatted away by Stubbs. on both ends. Lewandowski into the lane and the finish. Mike Lewandowski's first point of the day, and it draws Cleveland Heights within one, 39-38. 24 seconds left in the third quarter. Pass up to Hassinger. Zufra to Johnson. He's going to slow down. Johnson trapped in the corner. He's able to get it to Beach. 12 to shoot. Lewandowski with his first points on the other end after scoring 12 in the Tigers' first game. 4 to go. Stubbs pokes it loose. Ball out again. And no shot opportunity for Cleveland Heights, but another good defensive effort. Spearheaded by Jaquan Stubbs to jar that one loose and make sure the Bees didn't put any more points on the board.
Big time, and Jaquan Stubbs really putting a clinic now on both sides of the ball, primarily in that last minute on defense. That a big time play, knocking that ball loose just at the end of that half, and it was an opportunity for Medina to try and press the lead up to 3 or even try and get it to 2 possessions going into the break as we head into the fourth quarter. But a big time stop from Jaquan Stubbs, who Heights kind of struggled. We kind of saw flashbacks of how they were playing in that first quarter, in the first part of that third quarter, but they really turned it back on, cleaned it up, draws back close to 1. So we head into the final quarter.
Fourth quarter coming up here. Cleveland Heights look to be down big heading in, but a strong closeout to the fourth quarter. Able to make it a 1-point game. Just 39-38. It was a big run for Medina, really dominating the majority of that third quarter. But again, Jaquan Stubbs making the difference. He's got 13 here today, and he's matched on the other side. Very different styles of game, but JT Mogg on top for Medina with 15 of his own. He's been doing it with the long ball.
Heights still doing a good job of closing out those threes from Medina. Obviously, JT Mogg has been dangerous, but I'd like to see Medina maybe try some more high ball screens, try and free some more guys up around the perimeter and lead to those open shots. In that first quarter, they did a good job of that, getting wide open threes, and they pretty much capitalized on most all of them. But since then, they haven't really freed up anyone beyond the arc and gotten any wide open threes. So they can try and set screens around that perimeter, free guys up. If Heights can't switch quick enough, that'll lead to open shots.
Fourth quarter now underway. Medina looking to keep a 1-point lead. Cleveland Heights looking to stay undefeated, having to battle back. Kellen Johnson to Mogg and then up to Smith, and he's tackled by Dion Solomon. Solomon trying to pursue the ball and lost control of the body there as he tried to deny it from Smith, and he picks up the foul. It'll just be Solomon's first foul of the day. Mentioned some foul trouble for Cleveland Heights. Mike Lewandowski playing right now with 3 fouls. As well, Trevor McPherson, who's currently seated on the bench, has 3 of his own.
Got to keep in mind, too, with how close this game is. Whatever team can get in the bonus first is going to be big time for compiling points. Already an early foul for the Tigers, and that's probably something they're going to want to limit. They don't want to let Medina get to the line.
No foul that time. Johnson working into the basket and makes the Medina lead 3 here with 7:10 left to go in the game. Solomon to Bremer. Things slow here. Bremer with Mogg on him. Not in any rush to make a move. Lewandowski well beyond the 3-point line. He just wants to kick it back out. Jaden Cosgrove. Solomon to the lane. Backing down the defender in Rodriguez. Into Stubbs. Stubbs past Smith. Can't get it. How about your own miss and in? Stubbs up to 15.
Their second chance points for the big man. And a good find underneath to get him set up.
Foul that time going to go on Cosgrove. Cosgrove will pick up his first. And Jamin Allen and Bryce Darden going to check in. Solomon Cosgrove going to hit the bench. 41-40, Medina on top, 6:34 left to go. And another substitution. It's going to be Ian Bremer checking off. And Carter Armstrong back to the floor. Passenger. Pass Darden. Off to Johnson. Blocking foul. Going to be called on Darden. Looked like he got the body square, but he might have been just a little late getting to the spot.
Certainly what it looked like. For a second, it looked like almost drew the foul. Did a good job getting his body set, but just a little bit too late. But that's probably one you consider a good foul, because if he didn't get there, that probably would have been an easy bucket for the Bees.
Instead, Connor Smith going to find the basket. Into double digits as well. That's his 12th point of the game. Makes the Medina lead 43-40. Clock still ticking, out near 6 minutes. Lewandowski has it poked loose, but touched by Smith. Tigers going to look to draw something up, and even more so than just a talking on the court. Coach Bremer going to call a timeout and maybe try to settle in his team as they're off to a bit of a slow start. Hot end of the third quarter, but the start of this fourth quarter just not quite there for the Tigers.
Yeah, Bremer certainly going to try and draw something up, try and get some more consistency back on offense. We have seen, seems like the Tigers have kind of struggled a little bit on their inbounds plays, finding guys wide open or almost running up to that 5-second mark. Credit to the Medina defense on defending those. We'll see Bremer's going to try and drop an inbounds play, maybe try and free up Stubbs underneath, or just try and free up someone, or at the very least get that ball on quick and just try and set up some offense.
A full timeout called by Coach Bremer. So you think maybe on this side out you're getting a drawn-up play as well as just a bit of a talking to, maybe things he wants to make adjustments on, but I imagine you come out in a set piece here.
Definitely.
If you're Cleveland Heights. Originally it was going to be Lewandowski to inbound. We'll see if they want to keep that. On the floor for Cleveland Heights, it'll be Jaquan Stubbs, Mike Lewandowski, Carter Armstrong, Bryce Darden, and Jamin Allen. On the other side, JT Mogg, Luke Hassinger, Brock Beach, Kellen Johnson, and Connor Smith. Armstrong instead the inbounder. He'll get it to Lewandowski in the corner. Straight in to Stubbs. Stubbs fakes the pass, back out Armstrong. He'll look to back down Hassinger to the basket. Not enough. Ball loose. Lewandowski up and in, plus the foul.
Tough bucket for Lewandowski, getting the and one. A second chance opportunity. Lewandowski just right place at the right time, getting himself underneath, establishing that position to make that rebound. Ends up capitalizing and even more, getting the bucket and the foul.
Name of the game for Cleveland Heights has been second chance opportunities. Offensive rebounds seem to be flying their way all game long. Free throw good from 0. And with 5:45 left to play, all squared at 43. Hassinger at the circle. Lewandowski on him, they'll go Beach. They want to get it to Beach along that top of the three-point arc. They do. Allen in defense. Kick out. Mogg, 3. Yes! JT Mogg stays hot. 18 points after the finish. Quick it in and one the other way, though. Carter Armstrong maybe catches Medina sleeping following the made shot. And the and one opportunity for number 5 to put things back even at 46.
JT Mogg almost seems to be automatic from the other end, but like you said, Medina, it looked like they got back a little bit slow on defense, something they haven't been doing tonight. They've done a great job in transition on the defensive side wise, but that time Armstrong able to get in, get the contact, or not a back up after the 3 from Mogg.
There it is, full court pressure back to being applied by Cleveland Heights. Connor Smith bringing it up on Stubbs. Stubbs already poked a few loose, but not this time. Smith backing things out, trying to get it into Holland. Holland with Allen on him, and Coach Hassinger says no. Didn't like what he saw out of his offense with exactly 5 minutes on the clock. He'll call a timeout. Maybe wants to go to a set piece of his own, maybe talk about his team, their transition defense, and making sure they keep their heads level.
Definitely. Like I was talking about with Heights, the inbounding plays haven't been their strong suit. It's been the complete opposite tonight for Medina, it seems like a lot of their inbounds, where they've been one of their strengths, freeing guys open. A few times we've seen a few guys open. Connor Smith, probably the one we've seen a bunch of times, getting freed up off the inbound and getting easy layup buckets. We'll see what Coach Hassinger draws up here, but expect something like that. And now in the Heights huddle, I'm assuming drawing up how to defend that.
The point scoring distribution, too, for these two teams, as a side note, a lot more evenly spread across Cleveland Heights, but they've also probably played a few more players. All things considered, basically a 7-man rotation for Medina. You get an 8th man in there, but it was Everett Rodriguez who was just on the floor for a minute or two. And that's where you get things. JT Moggs got 18. Connor Smith has 12. Beach with 8. Hassinger with 6. That basically accounts for all the points right there. That's all but 4 of them. Mogg gets it on the outside. Darden in defense. All swing around. Again, tied at 46, now under 5 to play. Smith stepping up to the three-point line, trying to get past Stubbs. Does so, and Stubbs might have hooked him under the shooting arm there, and it'll send Smith to the strike.
Looks like just barely just enough contact to call the foul.
And that's where you're going to get the advantage for Connor Smith. Mentioned earlier, a little bit lankier, not going to bring the same size component that Jaquan Stubbs is going to bring as the first one off from Smith. But if you're able to draw him out one-on-one, isolate him along the three-point line, you're probably going to have the quicker first step. Did that time and earned him a pair of free throws.
Definitely. When he gets that, just that little bit of leverage, that separation underneath, it's a lot more easier for the officials to call a foul when Stubbs is trailing from behind, trying to make a play.
Empty chance at the line for Connor Smith. And Jaquan Stubbs reels in the board. And now on the other end, Cleveland Heights a chance to take the lead back. They want to go to the block. Get it to Stubbs. Stubbs, ball fake again. Ball swings around the perimeter. Jaquan Stubbs commanding the offense. He said, swing it back to the corner so I can get it right back. He's now doubled. Finds Lewandowski around half-court line. He clears out the right side. Wanted Armstrong gone. Instead, they'll go to the left. Stubbs at the three-point line. Over to Lewandowski. Long possession. Darting, cutting into Beach. Gets the foul. Might have caught Brock Beach leaning just a little bit. And because of it, Bryce Darden now with a chance to go to the line. That's going to be foul number 3 for the team for Medina. Cleveland Heights currently sitting at 4. So the next Cleveland Heights foul will put Medina in the bonus. The Bees still have 1 to give on the other end.
A great ball screen at the top of the key made by none other than Jaquan Stubbs. Was able to free up Bryce Darden, was cutting and get that open look, getting inside of the paint, and then obviously the contact came, but Jaquan Stubbs made that play all happen with that screen.
The initial pass down into Stubbs on the block, you'd almost like to see him give that ball up the first time. When the double comes, the ball fake works great because it frees you back up. But if it doesn't, your teammates got the first step. Maybe try to feed a couple. You saw him do it early in the game, not so much as it's progressed. But, of course, Stubbs, as the free throws off the mark, still at 46, does have 15 of his own for Jaquan Stubbs.
And if I'm Coach J.R. Bremer, with the double team we've seen on Stubbs, I'm telling Stubbs, unless it's a great look underneath, look to pass first because there's always someone wide open that second. We've seen Medina do a good job recover off the double team on defense, but if Stubbs can get that ball at the second he gets it, someone's going to be wide open for a shot.
Underneath, looked like it could have been an and one opportunity, but Kellen Johnson picks up the charge, and a strong defensive effort from the Tigers put them back on offense. Braylon Irby going to check in. Jamin Allen, Darden checking out, as well it's Ian Bremer onto the floor. A good job setting up underneath for Darden. And this game's been knotted at 46 for a few possessions back and forth. Trips to the line not being converted. Charges underneath. Team's just stalling out a little bit. Just about 3 to play. Ball loose on the ground. Tie up. And it's going to be Connor Smith and Carter Armstrong. Arrow favoring Cleveland Heights, so they'll keep it.
Another little bit of a sloppy turnover from Carter Armstrong, just losing the ball. Luckily, though, for the Tigers, retaining possession.
Mike Lewandowski now. Trying to clear things out. Wants to isolate Smith. At least that's what it appears. Out to Armstrong. Johnson on him. Bremer. 3. Too long. Back iron. Medina, a chance the other way. Just 2:45 to go. Team still deadlocked at 46. Bremer aggressive on the pass. Doesn't come back to bite the Tigers. Looking to work to Johnson. Bremer's been strong on the outside. They might look to try to pressure him defensively now. Want it back to Johnson. Handoff to Mogg. And Hassinger, things slowing down. Baseline cut. Holland gets the foul. Holland couldn't get the ball to fall, but he'll have the chance to strike. We've seen it twice, one for either side. Trips to the line. Both teams 0 for 2. Holland looking to change that and give Medina a lead.
Just want to give a quick credit to Carter Armstrong there. You could tell Medina was trying to set up and get a shot opportunity for Mogg. They're trying to free him up via a screen, but Armstrong able to fight through that screen, and when it looked like Mogg was about to had a look to shoot the ball, Armstrong was right there. Good play though by Mogg, dishing it off, giving Holland the opportunity underneath.
Holland splits the pair. So just a 1-point lead for Medina, 47-46. Armstrong, who you just mentioned, great defensive work, feeds the ball to Bremer. Lewandowski, top of the key, gets a step on Johnson, but good recovery, and they go back. Under 2 to play. Cleveland Heights trailing by 1. The Medina defense here in this fourth quarter been great. Lewandowski extends the range from deep. And a 2-point lead back for the Tigers. 1:45 to play.
And that was from way deep for Lewandowski on that left wing. Had that separation. We've seen him kind of hesitant to pull from beyond range. That time he does it in crunch time and splashes.
What a hit from Lewandowski. Hasn't done too much offensively. It started slow. He's now up to 8. Following the bombs away 3. 1:15 to go. Beach into the lane. Picks up the foul. He can't finish. Well, it looks like it's going to be a foul on Lewandowski. He'd pick up his 4th. Indeed it is. And Beach will go to the line with a chance to tie.
Not only is that his 4th, but now that puts Medina in the bonus. Hitting the last minute. Now any foul to get free throws, it's big for them, especially with how close this game is. But they've struggled at the free throw line.
Both teams really have. Both teams really have struggled from the stripe. Beach going to miss that one there. And now at best able to trim the lead in half, and he does so. JT Mogg will check back on for Jace Holland. And it's going to be a full court press applied here by Medina, 1:14. Remember, no shot clock here at the high school level, so if Cleveland Heights wanted to, they could pass around. They go inside to Stubbs. Stubbs on Smith. He wants to go up. No. Ball loose. Brought in by Irby. And a timeout called quickly by head coach Bremer.
I'm not sure if I really love the full court press out of Medina. I do get Heights has turned the ball over a few times in that situation, but you see there Lewandowski able to break free. Medina with the lead. Maybe it's just a little, in my opinion, a little bit of too over aggressiveness playing with the lead. If the second Lewandowski gets past that press, it's numbers for Heights the other way. Very well could have easily been a bucket for Cleveland Heights, which would have given them the lead.
It would have put them up by 3, and instead 49-48. Got to remember, shot clock turned off. Full court press there, you kind of have to apply it. You don't necessarily you can try to create half court pressure, but without that, Cleveland Heights can walk into the half court, begin to pass things around. You get into an awkward situation, but clearly the full court press not executed it the way head coach Chris Hassinger wanted to, because you can't imagine you're looking for a 3-on-2 opportunity for the Tigers the other way. But honestly, the other way too, even if Jaquan Stubbs puts that shot in, it's still a 3-point lead, one possession game, Medina with the basketball.
Yeah.
So if you're Medina, obviously you want to get the ball back here, but if you're going to give up a bucket, you want it to be that blow by two. All you want to do here is get the ball back in your hands. Should note as well, if Medina were to foul, it would send Cleveland Heights to the stripe immediately. Ball in to Lewandowski. Handoff for Irby. And you wonder how long do they let this get down, playing catch here near the three-point line before they elect to start the foul. They get a trap on Armstrong. Armstrong going to call a timeout. And that'll get things done. Got to drain some clock down to 47 seconds as they burn through another timeout with a 49-48 lead there. And you have to think Medina coming out of this break probably going to be looking to foul.
Yeah.
And that was, by the way, the last timeout by Cleveland Heights.
Definitely. See Armstrong. High IQ basketball. Had that wide open three on the wing. I know he wanted to take it. Decided not to.
His eyes lit up. He said, no defender around. I could make this a 4-point game and put it away. And then he thought, maybe not. Head coach Bremer might not like that one too much, because if I miss, that could be the ball game the other way. That is a smart play there. Of course, clock able to be drained out by Cleveland Heights if a foul doesn't come. It'll be interesting to see who Medina rolls out here on defense, too. They're going to go with Brock Beach on the floor. I'm saying if I'm Cleveland Heights, I want to get a switch on to Beach and force Beach to foul. He's playing with 4 at the moment, and he could get him out of the game. And he's been strong offensively, 9 points here today.
Yeah, wouldn't be surprised if they went right at him. Beach has been that spark on offense. If they've needed a bucket, he's had that ability to drive into the lane.
And they go Beach onto the inbounder, hoping to keep things away there, but you can go to Armstrong here and force it. Passing around the back. Medina still not fouling. Lewandowski in the corner, ball nearly thrown away. Armstrong with it, and a quick jump ball called. Medina taking back over 32 and a half seconds, and they can play for the final shot if they would like.
That's a tough one. Armstrong looked like he kind of turtled that ball when the Bees surrounded him. Fortunately, looked like he was just going to try and draw that foul, expecting maybe a foul to be called. Medina, though, gets the tie-up very clean. Didn't look like there was any contact. And now we'll see how much time they bleed off. They can run it down all the way.
27 seconds. Another timeout going to be called, this time by Medina. They'll have one left after. But just looking back, personally at that play, the replay with Armstrong, still dribble was available. Probably should have put it on the floor and leaked his way back out, but instead, you mentioned, kind of turtled the basketball, went into a running back-like position, 2 hands on it, and it allowed the Medina defenders to tie up and give Medina a chance to take this game, trailing 49-48. Full timeout in effect. All they need is a bucket, and they're put in a precarious situation. Obviously, if the chance presents itself, you're probably going to take the shot, take the points, and then try to play defense. But how long do you burn off the clock before you really go into your offense here?
That's the thing, down 2. I mean, if they get any open opportunity, no matter how much time is left, you think they're going to have to take it. Not expecting any crazy three-pointers unless JT Mogg has the ball in his hands, who's been on fire today from three-point range. That's a guy you'd probably be okay with living and dying with beyond the arc in this game with how hot he's been. But I wouldn't expect Medina to take any crazy shots until that clock runs down. Just trying to get that ball inside the paint, get an open man, get an easy bucket.
Well, here we go. Luke Hassinger to inbound, 27 seconds for Medina. Into Johnson, quickly to Beach. Beach into the lane. Blocking foul on Stubbs. And he looked like he was set up underneath. And he can't believe it. He'll pick up the foul. In the bonus are the Bees, and free throws coming for Brock Beach. Trailing by 1. Last time, Beach to the lane, to the stripe. He split it. First one through, and we are tied. Brock Beach, an opportunity to put his team in the lead. JT Maug checks out as Medina gets ready to switch to defense. Jace Holland coming in. Bees want to play big on defensive end of the ball. Beach's second free throw up and through, 50-49, 24 seconds to go. Cleveland Heights slow things down here with Armstrong. 15 on the clock. Armstrong into the lane. Off to Irby. Irby to Stubbs. Stubbs on Holland. Up. Fouled. And with 6 seconds left, Jaquan Stubbs is stepping to the line.
Oh man, Jake, was this gym about ready to erupt? Stubbs would have put that home. Looked like for a second, hesitated, then tried to go up again. Good for him, though, gets the contact. We'll get 2.
Student section off to our right. I'd be surprised if Tiger Nation back at home listening couldn't hear him. But now Jaquan Stubbs in a pressure situation. First one off the mark. That is the first miss from the stripe for Jaquan Stubbs early in this season. A lane violation negated his free throw prior to that. But now Stubbs looking at best to tie this game and send us into an overtime situation, assuming Cleveland Heights could play defense for those final 6. Medina with a timeout left. Stubbs, the free throw. Out, rebound by Smith, and he's fouled quickly by Armstrong. And Jaquan Stubbs 0 for 2 from the line. And Medina with just 4.5 on the clock, a chance to make this 3.
Something you certainly didn't expect. Stubbs would miss both. How great he's been from the line this season. But hey, the good news for Heights, you get that quick foul. That's exactly what they needed. Off that miss, get that foul in the instant. Now worst comes to worst. It'll still be a 1-possession game with 4 seconds left.
First one off the mark from Smith, so opportunity still presenting itself for Cleveland Heights, not only to tie this game, but also a shot to win it if they so choose. Connor Smith looking to knock down number 2. Don't be surprised if Coach Hassinger calls a timeout if this one goes in. Shot up, shot through. Hassinger ready for his team to play defense. No timeout, 4 on the clock. Cleveland Heights down 2 to the lane. Armstrong, no. Shot will not count from Stubbs as it went through. And the Bees will walk out victorious, 51-49.
Man, that's a tough one. Carter Armstrong, I was interested to see whether or not they try and go for the 3 to win it or go for the 2 to take the tie. Armstrong did it, got himself into the lane. Just too much on it. Then the Stubbs second chance tip came just a second after that buzzer sounded. A tough ending for the Tigers to what was really a fantastic game to watch all night long.
That's a rough one. Carter Armstrong, strong opportunity. Given the time, not a bad look. If you have, as you mentioned, a second, maybe 2 more on the clock, you'd probably be looking at overtime basketball, but instead, Medina going to go to a 1-1 on the season. Cleveland Heights going to fall 1-1 themselves. And it's going to be the Bees coming out victorious for the game.
Definitely. What I thought was a great game overall. Very encouraging to see, especially with how young this team is. We talked about beforehand, Jake, just seeing the adjustments they'd make, not only in this game, but throughout the progress of the season. And I thought tonight was a good example of that. Started slow in the first quarter, able to make adjustments coming through to the second quarter. That's where you saw them really start to take off. Then came out a little bit flat out of the third quarter, and then towards the end of the third quarter, that's when they started hot. So kind of just some highs and lows of this game, but that's exactly what you're going to expect to this team. But just so many great things to take away. The defense, and Jaquan Stubbs, definitely the biggest one, how great he played throughout that game. Once they kind of unlocked him and brought him, that unlocked the entire offense. Wide open looks all over the place. Just kind of exposing at times that double team from Medina. So overall, a tough loss for the Tigers, but one that I think many positives to take away from going forward.
And of course, it's such a young team too. you got to take your wins and your losses. You're not looking at a team that was 18-8 last year, coming in, losing to Medina, and thinking to yourself, dang, does this team still have the spark? No, this is a young team that's going to get better as the year goes on. You have to stick with them. That's a rough loss against a really good Medina team, and you lose by 2. And some things not falling your way, of course, towards the end. Jaquan Stubbs finishing just 0 for 2 from the free throw line. His first misses on the season late in the game as he finishes with 15 points. And that's just how it walks away. Medina able to close it out 51-49, but plenty of basketball up ahead. Cleveland Heights going to be on the road taking on Brunswick for their next game. That one not going to be here on the CHU8 Schools YouTube channel. Instead, the next one going to be December 20th. You can be right back here and catch Cleveland Heights basketball. Won't be with you, Brendan, though. You're heading back to go Buffalo, New York, so it'll be myself and to be determined. I believe it'll be Dylan Feltovich up to this point. So
there you go. Well, you're in good hands with Dylan.
Yeah, definitely are. Again, 51-49. Medina closing things out over Cleveland Heights as both teams' record go to 1-1. Jake Volnick, Brendan Kant signing off from the CHU8 Schools YouTube channel. Wishing you guys a great rest of your night.